the company are using the responsibility accounting. Moving ahead, essential features of the responsibility accounting. The first part is input and output or cost and revenues. The implementation and maintenance of responsibility accounting system is based on information related to input and output. The physical resources utilized in an organization, such as quantity of raw material used and labor hour consumed, are termed as input. These input expressed in monetary terms and are known as costs. Similarly, output expressed in monetary terms are called as revenue. Thus, the responsibility accounting is based on the cost and revenue information. The second one is the planned and actual information. Effective responsibility accounting requires both planned and actual financial information. It is not only the historical cost and revenue data, but also the planned and future data, which is essential for the implementation of responsibility accounting system. It is through budget that the responsibility for implementing the plan is communicated to each level of management. The use of fixed budget, flexible budget, and profit planning are incorporated into one overall system of responsibility accounting. Now, the third feature of responsibility accounting is very important. That the whole purpose of the responsibility accounting is to set the responsibility centers. The responsibility center represent the sphere of the authority or decision points in an organization. In small firm, one individual or small group of individuals who are usually the owners may possibly manage or control the entire organization. Like in a small organization, it is not necessary that you subdivide the various organization, various department. But in larger organization, for effective control, a large firm is usually divided into meaningful segments, departments, or division. These subunits or division or organization are called the responsibility centers. A responsibility centers is under the control of individual who is responsible for control of activities of that particular subunit of the organization. This responsibility center may be very small subunit of organization, as an individual could be made possible for one machine used in a manufacturing operation, or it may be very big division for the organization, such as the divisional manager could be possible for achieving a certain level of profit from the division and investment under his control. So to summarize, a responsibility center is dependent on the outlay of the organization. If an organization is a big organization, there will be a sub department, and for each department you have to give the responsibility to a person or a group of person. On the other hand, if the organization is a small organization, in that case it is not actually essential for a firm to assign a different responsibility to different department, because the department is small and one person can actually control all the sub department in a smaller organization. So what are these responsibility centers? Like, there are three responsibility centers. One is investment centers, profit centers, cost and revenue centers. Now, generally, the responsibility of the investment centers are given to the higher level of the manager, like the chief executive or the general manager. The reason being so, like any kind of investment, you must have studied about the capital budgeting decision. These are the investment decisions the company are making, and huge sum of money are being invested. So these are the irreversible decision, and for irreversible and huge lump sum of money is being used, in that case one has to take the analytical decision, and for that the higher level of the manager are being employed to take the decisions. So in investment decisions or the investment centers, the top level of managers are given the responsibility. Second one is the profit centers. The profit centers are being, the responsibility are being given to the divisional manager. The divisional manager are held responsible for the profit centers. And last one is the cost and revenue centers. Generally, the departmental manager, like the marketing manager, the product manager, production manager, the sales manager, the uh, R&D department manager, they are made responsible for proper control of the cost and revenue centers. The next one is the relationship between the structure and responsibility accounting system. A sound organization structure with clear-cut line of authority responsibility relationship is a prerequisite for establishing a successful responsibility accounting system. Yes, it is true. Like if you have a good hierarchical system, a good organizational structure where the responsibility, accountability, authority, these terms are properly defined, in that case responsibility accounting system will be, it will be helpful in applying the responsibility accounting system. The next one, assigning cost to individual. Like after identifying responsibility centers and establishing the various relationship, responsibility accounting system involve assigning cost and revenue to system to individual. Only those cost and revenue over which an individual has definite control. I repeat, only those cost and revenue over which an individual has definite control can be assigned to him for evaluating his performance. Responsibility accounting has an appeal because it distinguishes between the controllable and uncontrollable cost. So, to summarize, assigning cost to individual, it means you an organization should able to like analyze what are the core competency of a particular person, and based on that the responsibility is being assigned to that particular person. So this is the uh, like summarized form of how you are assigning the uh, responsibility to different person. Next one is transfer pricing policy. In a large organization having decentralized division, there is a common practice of transferring goods and services from one segment to another segment. In such situation, there is need to determine the price at which the transfer should take place so that cost and revenue could properly assigned. The significance of transfer pricing can well be judged from the fact that for transferring division it will become a source of revenue, whereas for the division to which the transfer is made it will become a cost. So let's decode what transfer pricing policy is. In an organization, for example, in an organization there are two departments. For example, let's say one is the production department and another is like the, take an example of research and development department. Now one department is transferring one set of resources to another department. Okay, so in that case for one department it will become cost because they are sharing something, and for one department it will become resources or the revenue. So transfer pricing policy is a system where you can actually able to determine what value of cost you or the value of transfer you are sharing to one department. Okay, so this is the concept of transfer pricing. Performance reporting. Responsibility accounting as we have discussed, is nothing but a system of controlling device. A control system to be effective should be such that the deviation from the plan must be reported at the earliest so as to take corrective action for the future. So, responsibility accounting will be helpful in bringing the performance in the activities of the employees, because they are given the responsibility, they are given the authority, and at the same time they are made accountable for their work as well. So in that case, the performance of the individual will increase, or they will be like more concerned, they will be more focused while performing their activities. Participative management. The function of responsibility accounting system become more effective if participative or democratic style of management is followed, where the plan are laid or the budget or the standards are fixed according to a mutual consent and the decision reached after the consulting the subordinates. In the first semester, you must have studied about participative decision making or participative management, where any kind of decision being made in consultation with the subordinates you're working with. So in that case, any manager who is autocratic type of leadership, in that case it will become very difficult to actually follow the responsibility accounting system. One has to be take the uh, to take the decision in consultation with the subordinates as well. So in participative management, one has to follow the democratic leadership style, where one has to take the uh, consent, one has to take the viewpoint of their subordinates as well. And the last one is the human aspect of responsibility accounting. As we have discussed it earlier, that the responsibility accounting is the emphasis is given on more on human than the system. So it is based on that particular thing, the human aspect of the responsibility accounting. The aim of responsibility accounting is not to blame someone, like if any department or any person who failed to achieve the standard cost or any kind of deviation is being made. In that case, it is not the person to whom all the any kind of deviation has been in the organization. One person should not be blamed. So hierarchy is being made, like the top level management, middle level management, lower level management, and all are interconnected. So human aspect of responsibility accounting is like you should take care of the employee who are engaged in conducting any kind of activity under the responsibility accounting system, and one should create a favorable environment. One should not make the environment so much panic that you are assigned a duty, you have to do the duty, any kind of deviation you will be made responsible. One should motivate, because it is the human the responsibility accounting is more of the human aspect rather than the uh, uh, techniques, like the earlier techniques which we have studied. So these were the basic concept of the responsibility accounting and the essential feature of the responsibility accounting. I hope you will be able to get all the conceptual things about the responsibility accounting. And likewise, we'll be discussing the various aspects of the cost centers, which is the most important part of the responsibility accounting, like the investment cost center, the revenue, the profit. These three things we'll be discussing in details in the coming video lecture. So I have already shared the lecture notes on on the email, and I will be sharing this video to the new BHU website as well and to the Google Classroom. So we'll be in continuous touch, and be safe, be healthy. Thank you.